Did you know that in the United States, nearly 1 in every 3 deaths occurs before the age of 60? That's not a typo. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, over 33% of premature deaths in America are linked to preventable lifestyle factors, and diet is the #1 cause. We live in a country with more food than ever, yet people are dying younger. Why? In this video, we'll uncover the shocking truth about the modern U.S. diet, what Americans are really eating, how it's destroying our health from the inside out, and what you can do to avoid becoming another statistic. To understand why, we need to look back to how America's diet changed and what it's doing to our bodies today. Let's rewind to the 1970s, when food started becoming faster, cheaper, and more artificial. Back then, less than 30% of the average American's calories came from processed foods. Today, it's a staggering 73%, according to a 2022 study from Northwestern University and the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. What happened? Corporations learned how to make food addictive. They replaced real ingredients with chemicals, preservatives, and sugar designed to trigger your brain's reward center the same way drugs do. In short, the US didn't just change how we eat, it rewired our biology. And it's not just what's in the food, it's what's missing. Ultra-processed foods are energy-dense but nutrient-poor. The CDC reports that over 92% of Americans fail to meet the recommended daily intake of vegetables, and 88% fail to meet fruit recommendations. That means most Americans are full, but malnourished. When the body lacks magnesium, potassium, omega-3s, and antioxidants, the immune system weakens, inflammation rises, and disease risk explodes. A major 2023 NIH study found that people consuming mostly processed foods had a 62% higher risk of premature death, largely due to heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. This isn't about counting calories anymore. It's about counting nutrients. So what's this doing to our bodies? The answer starts in the gut, your second brain. Your gut is home to over 100 trillion bacteria, more than the cells in your entire body. These microbes control digestion, immunity, and even your mood. But when your diet is filled with processed foods, sugar, and artificial ingredients, those good bacteria die off. A 2021 study from Stanford University found that Americans who eat fewer than 10 grams of fiber per day, which is over half the population, have 40% lower gut bacterial diversity. And that's only the beginning, because what starts in the gut ends up in your heart. Heart disease has been America's #1 killer for over 70 years. According to the CDC, it causes 1 in every 5 deaths, and it's striking younger people than ever. Between 2010 and 2022, deaths from heart disease in adults under 45 rose by 13%, fueled by obesity, processed meats, trans fats, and sugary drinks. Harvard Medical School research shows that people who drink just 1 sugary beverage per day have a 26% higher risk of developing heart disease. The shocking part? Most Americans drink 2 to 3 a day. But the heart isn't the only organ paying the price. Next, we look at how the modern diet is literally changing the American body from the inside out. In 1980, only 15% of American adults were considered obese. By 2024, that number had skyrocketed to over 42%, according to the CDC's National Center for Health Statistics. Even more alarming, 1 in 5 children in the US is now obese before turning 12. This isn't just about appearance. Obesity triples your risk of developing heart disease, doubles your risk of diabetes, and shortens your life by up to 8 years. The cause? It's not simply overeating, it's what we're eating. Most ultra-processed foods are designed to be hyperpalatable, meaning your brain doesn't register fullness. And what's the biggest silent driver of this obesity crisis? It's not fat, it's sugar. The average American consumes over 65 pounds of added sugar every year. That's nearly 17 teaspoons a day, far beyond the American Heart Association's limit. But here's the catch, 80% of that sugar isn't from desserts. It's hidden in foods like bread, salad dressings, ketchup, and even yogurt. Studies show that diets high in added sugar increase the risk of dying from heart disease by 38%. Sugar isn't just empty calories, it's a biological weapon against your health. And what sugar does to your body doesn't stop at weight gain, it completely rewires your metabolism. What happens when your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure all go out of balance at once? You develop what's called metabolic syndrome, a dangerous cluster of conditions that now affects nearly 1 in 3 American adults. Ultra-processed foods cause insulin resistance. The pancreas keeps pumping insulin, the liver stores more fat, and your body enters a state of chronic inflammation. And one of the organs hit hardest by this sugar overload is your liver. Today, the most common cause of liver disease isn't alcohol, it's food. It's called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and it now affects an estimated 100 million Americans. One 2023 Harvard study found that consuming just 1 soda per day increases your risk of developing fatty liver by 45%. And what's truly frightening? These diet-driven changes don't just damage the body, they're reshaping our minds. According to a 2023 Harvard Medical School review, people who consume a Western-style diet are 37% more likely to develop depression than those who eat a Mediterranean-style diet. The reason lies in inflammation. Processed foods cause inflammation in the brain, damage neurotransmitters, and disrupt the gut-brain axis. So if diet affects our hearts, our livers, and even our minds, what about our lifespan itself? For the first time in modern history, the average American's life expectancy is declining. According to the CDC, it dropped to 76.4 years, the lowest since 2001. The leading causes? Heart disease, cancer, stroke, and diabetes, all heavily influenced by diet. Our medical technology keeps improving, but our food keeps getting worse. Countries like Japan, Italy, and Spain, where whole foods and plant-based diets dominate, live 6 to 9 years longer on average than Americans. The difference isn't genetics. It's the plate. Here's the truth. While diet has been killing millions, it can also heal millions. A landmark 2022 study from the Harvard Th Chan School of Public Health found that people who switched to a whole food, plant-rich diet in midlife increased their life expectancy by up to 13 years. The power lies in whole foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, and clean proteins. These foods reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, and feed your gut microbiome. As Hippocrates said over 2,000 years ago, let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. Science is finally catching up. Let's meet real people who refuse to be another statistic. Like John Peterson, 52, from Michigan. Within 6 months of switching to a whole food diet, his A1C dropped from 8.9% to 5.4%. His doctor officially declared him diabetes-free. Then there's Sandra Lopez, a 48-year-old nurse from Texas. After cutting ultra-processed snacks, she lost 58 pounds, got off her blood pressure meds, and said, "I feel 20 again." The body knows how to heal if we stop feeding it poison and start feeding it life. Here's a simple model, call it the 80-20ths plate. 80% of your daily food should come from whole, plant-based sources. 20% can include lean animal protein, eggs, or dairy if desired. Harvard's Healthy Eating Plate suggests 1/2 plate vegetables and fruits, 1/4 plate whole grains, and 1/4 plate healthy protein. Add color to every meal. The more color, the more nutrients. In short, eat foods your great-grandparents would recognize. We're at a turning point in American history. For the first time in decades, younger generations are expected to live shorter lives than their parents, largely due to what we eat. But it doesn't have to end this way. Every time you choose an apple over a soda, greens over fries, or water over energy drinks, you're casting a vote for your health, your family, and your future. Don't wait for the system to change. Be the change on your plate, in your kitchen, and in your community. Share this video to spread awareness. Comment below with your story or your first small step. And subscribe to this channel, because in our next video, we'll break down the 10 foods that can extend your life expectancy by over a decade. Remember, your body was designed to thrive. Give it the chance.